In July of 1979, Saddam Hussein stepped fully into the role of Iraq's leader and almost immediately showed the world the kind of ruler he would be. For years, Saddam had been the power behind the scenes, supporting President Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr, who had been in office since 1968. But when al-Bakr suddenly resigned, most likely under heavy pressure, Saddam assumed the presidency. What followed was one of the most chilling and theatrical purges of the 20th century. Just days into his rule, Saddam summoned hundreds of Ba'ath Party members to a grand assembly in Baghdad. These men believed they were attending an ordinary meeting, but what they walked into was a carefully orchestrated display of fear and power. Saddam announced that he had uncovered a conspiracy against his leadership, a supposed plot tied to Syrian Ba'athists and several of Iraq's own senior officials. The atmosphere in the hall was tense, and soon the meeting turned into something resembling a show trial. A senior party member, Muhai Abd al-Hussein Mashhadi, was dragged before the audience. He confessed under visible duress to being part of the conspiracy.
نعم. لا خصصت الهاي كلها. اي نعم.
تفضل. خذ راحتك بلا ورقة.
نعم.
اللي تريد تستذكره ممكن أن ترجع.
اي نعم. أيها الرفاق، ما راح أذكره الحقيقة هو أدليت به بمحض رغبتي ودون أي ضغوط أو تأثيرات قطعا، استجابة لدواعي الضمير وخدمة الحزب في هذه المرحلة الدقيقة التي شئت وبدفع من عناصر بالقيادة.
Then, one by one, he began naming his co-conspirators. The effect was devastating. As each name was read, guards stormed into the assembly, pulling men out in front of their horrified colleagues. Nobody knew who would be called next. The fear was palpable. Men who had once been confident leaders sat frozen, realizing their survival might depend on their ability to demonstrate absolute loyalty. Over the next several days, dozens of officials were arrested. Roughly 22 of them were executed by firing squad. But what made this purge especially terrifying was the way Saddam forced other party members to participate. Men who had served with the condemned were ordered to carry out the executions themselves, ensuring their hands were stained with blood. This was not only about eliminating rivals. It was about binding survivors to Saddam through shared guilt and fear. The spectacle had its intended effect. Those who remained understood that survival meant obedience. The Ba'ath Party ceased to function as a collective movement and became instead an extension of Saddam himself. Applause and cheering during the assembly were not just performances of loyalty, they were acts of survival. From this moment forward, no one in Iraq's political elite could stand against him without risking their life. This purge set the tone for Saddam Hussein's entire rule. His power was built on fear, paranoia, and ruthless displays of dominance. He understood the psychological power of theater, turning politics into a stage where betrayal and death were used as warnings. For Iraqis who witnessed these events, the message was clear. Saddam was not simply a leader, he was the state itself. What happened in that assembly hall in July 1979 was more than a purge. It was a masterclass in authoritarian control. Saddam didn't just kill his enemies, he forced others to prove their loyalty by killing for him. He didn't just eliminate rivals, he made survivors complicit. And in doing so, he cemented his grip on Iraq for decades to come. This dark chapter marked the true beginning of Saddam's rule, and it revealed the brutal methods he would use again and again to maintain power. Fear, manipulation, and violence became the foundation of his regime. And in that one carefully staged purge, the future of Iraq was sealed under his iron hand.
مو زهير المريض، زهير يحيى اللي بينكم. إبراهيم عبد علي العقيد، إبراهيم عبد علي. سلطان الشاوي. ما يكفيكم اللي بقى بالقاعة من لحزب البعث العربي الاشتراكي؟
This is Takz History, and if you found this story as haunting and fascinating as we did, make sure to stay tuned for more deep dives into the moments that shaped our world.